What's up, guys? Seppish one, out for a stroll. Nice Minnesota day, nice cloudy day. It's probably about 55 degrees, just a good day to be outside. What I want to do today is just kind of show you how to make it's a double snare. Rabbit snare, could be used for rabbits, any kind of small game that would really run into it. Just do a little demonstration on that, so that it's something that you can use in a survival situation if need be. It can be improvised pretty easily. That's all you really need is some paracord, your knife, and a sapling, really. And you don't even need to kill a tree to do this. So I'm gonna go find a spot where set one up and find a tree that's gonna work out for it. And I'm not in it to kill anything today. I'm just in it for my own purposes, just for practicing in case I ever have to use it, and I don't want to ever have to refer to a survival manual. Yeah, we'll go find a spot, check it out, see how it works. Alright guys, first thing you need to do is we need to find a twig. I would say something that's probably like 3/4 of an inch or an inch, maybe even smaller, something that's going to be stout though. What this is going to be is it's going to be our trigger that actually helps trip the mechanism, which sets the snare. I found some dead trees here, and I'm just gonna take a chunk off that. It only needs to be about, I don't know, a foot long, 1.5 feet long. The snare that I'm making can be set up as a double snare, but I'm only gonna go put one on it just for the, just for purposes of demonstration. So, I got my Fiskars folding knife or folding saw. I'm not gonna use that. It would be the best tool probably in this situation, but I've got a Buck 119 special edition that my girlfriend actually got for me. I know, lucky guy, right? And it's a pretty solid knife, and I figure, hey, I got a knife, I might as well use it. So I'm gonna give this a shot, test it out, see how it works as a camp knife, just for fun. So check it out. We need that, and then we're also going to get a piece, a log that's probably going to be about, I don't know, 3 inches round or so, something that we can cut a notch that this can rest in and have tension on so that it can't move out, so anything big enough to make that notch for this. So we'll get that going and we'll be almost good to go. Alright guys, first thing you want to do is, so you got your switch made, and what I found was this old dead log, and this is going to act as our anchoring device, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to stick this into the ground, but first what we need to do is we need to cut a notch in this that this stick can go into, so that this stick can actually rest inside this log, and the tension of the tree will pull up on it and keep this stick from moving. And then we're going to attach our snares on the outside here, one dangling from each side, and as soon as that animal gets its head inside the actual noose, its struggle will pull this free out of here, and this is tied to the tree, and as soon as that animal struggles, it's going to pop this loose, and the tree's going to fling up and should have dinner. That's the idea anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of this knot that's on the tree, because that's already going to start my knocking point for me, where that our switch is going to rest in. Anything you guys can do to make your jobs easier out in the woods when you're surviving is going to save you energy, and that's going to give you an extra day. That's going to be, one more meal that you can go without. Just doing those simple little stupid tricks to save you the time and the effort can really pay off. So carving this with a Columbia River knife and tool bowl, basic utility locking liner. Check it. Also, I just got this knife a couple months ago too, so first time it's really actually ever been out in the field and being used, so you guys get to check that out. Alright, so what you get is a notch, goes inside there, and it really can't go anywhere. And you know, you want to be careful with this. You don't want to make this too shallow, because getting a tree smack in the face is not fun. So, got that. We'll sink this guy into the ground, and I'm right by a sapling here, and we'll get it tied up with a paracord and we'll see how it works. Alright, so for this we're gonna need, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces of paracord. We're gonna have two for our nooses or snares or whatever you want to call them. And for this purpose I'm only gonna do one, but we'll have that, and then there's gonna be a piece that ties to either end of this and then forms a triangle, and at the top of that is where the rope from the tree will actually attach to this. So we're gonna get those cut up. Now to tie the noose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make what they call a bowline knot. And what you want to do is you want to make a really small one. You make a loop in your rope. So you've got, this is going to be on the, this is going to be the small end. You got the rest of it here. What we did is we made a loop. I'm gonna get that out of there. This is gonna, if you can see this, it's going in the hole. Okay, and around the back side of your long line, the little guy, around the back of it, and you want to go back through that loop that we just made. Does that make sense? And simply pull on your loop, and this isn't going anywhere. And all we need to do to make our noose is we're going to take this end, run it through there, and there you go. I guess I could probably do something more fancy, but I don't know that it's necessary. Like I said, the more simple you can make things for yourself. That's it. Makes sense. That's our trigger. And you can see we've got our stake pounded in the ground. It's going to rest in there. It's not going anywhere. Our next step is we're going to attach this rope to our trigger so that it can be attached to our sapling. And once again, with this, simple overhand knot. Alright guys, there it is. So now that's going to be pulled up evenly. See that? On our stump. And all we have left to do is tie one to our sapling, tie one to this end up here, and we got ourselves a snare. So this one, again, I'm doing a simple overhand knot. If anybody out there knows of a faster, quicker, easier way to tie a knot like that where, you know, it's not going to go anywhere, sure to let me know. I would sure love to know about it. I am not the end-all be-all when it comes to knots. God knows that's true. And what we're doing is we're just want to center this as much as possible and make sure our trigger sits as level as possible so we don't get an accidental trip. And you can see right now how that one side, if I center this, that one side is hanging low. So all you gotta do is slide your knot towards the side that's hanging low, and that will change it. it might not necessarily be in the center of your ropes either. You want to make sure your trigger's level. You don't need to make sure that this is in the middle. Alright guys, we got our trap set. Just go over what it looks like when everything's good. You can see here's our spring, or our sapling, unharmed, just simply tied up. Just did an overhand knot on that as well. That string runs down to our triangle of rope, you can see there, which is attached to our trigger. There would be our noose, and I'm not going to mess around with that, setting that up. Sometimes you can use little twigs to kind of prop the rope up so that it's easier for the animal to get their head in. And you would set this ideally in some kind of animal path that you could recognize, a rabbit run or you know, whatever, some kind of sign. You want to make sure that your chances are going to be better. But I think it's time for us to check this thing out, see how it works. And had there been an animal on that, it would now be hanging, and we'd have some dinner. Alright guys, hope this was somewhat informative for you, and you can use it. I hope you don't ever have to use it, but if you have to, at least you may know how to do it now. Thanks guys.